night in the dirty south. We hold it down. We don't make it in every town. We bring the heat. We bring the sound. Dirty style rap. That's how we get down.
Hello, household, window lickers, chaos goblins, anybody out there who enjoys Monday Night Raw, wrestling, and two guys with beards in their respective dwellings talking about wrestling.
Doing beard boy stuff.
Doing beard boy stuff. Exactly. And you heard his voice right there. He is my co-host. He is the talent that has been between them ropes. He is Kevin Kalloway, the Chaos Goblin. Kevin, my brother, how are you doing?
You know, I'm doing well. I was talking a little off stream, and I started cataloging my video game collection. So I've been collecting video games since, God, before I could walk, probably. I think I've been playing video games. So I started with NES, and I haven't cataloged all those yet, but from memory and the stuff I have here, I went through a price charting website, which is a collector's website, and it's like the industry standard for kind of video games, at least, and for some of the like trading cards and things like that. Gotcha. So I put in the ones that I remembered. So I put in about 185 games, and out of the 185 games, I'm up to about 7K for the collection's value, which is nuts. By the way, Mega Man X3, if anyone owns that, $400 loose cartridge.
That's insane.
I own it.
Insane. That's insane, man.
If you were a Mega Man fan when you were younger, you are
eating
fucking well if you have any of those games.
Yeah, I wish I would have saved them, but throughout the years, you know, when you're becoming an adult, those teenage years, you get those summer jobs and you come home and your parents have garage sales and you notice half your game catalog is gone and you go, in what world do you two think that you can just come into my room and take my Vitriol games?
What makes it worse is that if you would have held on to them, they would have praised way more than those garage sales. Because that happened to me a couple times too, where I was just like, we got to purge shit from the basement. We got to do this. So we're just going to sell a bunch of shit. Well, I sold a bunch of my Pokemon cards. And boy, should I have not.
Yeah, you got to hold on to those things.
Boy, should I have not. Fortunately, I was very adamant about the video games. So I'm sure once I put in all the Super Nintendo, Sega, and NES, Nintendo 64, PlayStations, and like, fuck, I have Sega Dreamcast and Sega Saturn, brother.
Don't tell me those things. I'm still 14 years old. My Dreamcast was sold in a garage sale.
Oh, that's brutal. You should have hit Sonic Adventure 2. It's worth $200 now.
Oh, man. I absolutely loved my Dreamcast. It was one of my absolute favorite consoles I've ever owned. All my games.
Favorite failed console.
Yeah, it was so good. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a great console. But yeah, I remember the Power Glove when that thing went in the garage sale. Oh, man.
Yeah.
I love the Power Glove.
I wonder how much those are now. You know what?
That's a good question.
You know what? Live and living color. We're going to figure it out.
There we go.
Price chart. Okay, Power Glove. Here we go. Power Glove. Show me potato salad. Holy shit, $100.
That's not bad.
That's not bad. If it was complete in the box, $200. If it happened to still be, because all these pricings are different. If they happen to be still wrapped, like it's new, never been opened, $800.
Well,
some of these are nuts.
I don't know who would have an unwrapped Power Glove, because once you buy it, you got to put it on. You have to do exactly what the kid did in the commercial. We got Fighting's one coming out. He's saying my favorite failed console.
That's a good failed console.
Boy.
That's a good failed console.
Not one I've ever experienced.
The Sega CD, underrated failed console. The Sega CD.
What about? Do you remember the Jaguar?
Yeah, I remember the Jaguar too.
That one was pretty cool too. That one had a really cool Ghostbusters type game that was pretty difficult to play. I do recall that being very difficult to play, but I always tried. Almost like Top Gun
You
for
always
regular
tried.
Nintendo.
Yeah. The game that you were telling me about when I was posting about the really tough games. And
Yeah,
then like three
dude.
people were like, "Oh, you just got to get the landing down." It's like, yeah, that's the fucking problem.
Yeah,
boy.
that was the hard.
You just be better.
Yeah,
Okay.
7-year-old
Fuck
me
you
just
too.
sitting there. Well, why don't you learn how to be a pilot? Come on, dickhead. Yeah, I get it. I tried, but I did enjoy the game up until the landing. And you turn it off and you put on Bugs Bunny and you run around mansions and beat up people in the Acme world. It was a fun time. It was a good time. All right.
Simpler times.
So Kevin, your collection sounds like it has some gems in it.
It does.
And
It does.
you've only scratched the surface from my understanding.
Yes, to some extent. I think I got some of the most expensive ones. I'd be shocked if I beat Mega Man X3. I'd be shocked if I beat that in a value. Because I think my top one is Mega Man X3 easily at $400 just for the goddamn cartridge.
What makes it so fucking...
So I can tell you specifically why Mega Man X3 was. I don't know about the other games.
Yeah, why X3?
But X3 is a Super Nintendo game right at the end of Super Nintendo. So the run of all of the games for cartridge was very small. Not only that, it was small for Japan. It was even less so because it had to be localized for the United States into English. So the United States one is actually more valuable than the Japanese one. I think the Japanese one's like 100, whereas the United States one is like 400.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Loose too.
For shits and gigs purposes, let's look at how much it would be if it was completely new. A new version of this game. If it was still wrapped in the box, not taken out. $5,500.
Get out of town for a video game. Mega
If
Man.
I still had this motherfucker's box and manual, it's $1,700.
That's insane. That is so crazy. But
If you just out there and you happen to have a Mega Man X3 box, it's $400.
just the box.
The box. If you have the manual, it's $300.
That's so crazy. But again, like you said,
Collectors.
such a minute print of the game itself and all the things that come with it. Man, that's crazy. That is something nuts, man. Something we learned. We learned something today, fans.
There's another one I have called Xenosaga that had a similar thing with PlayStation 2. It got localized over here late, so it ended up having more money to it. So I think I have it complete in box with the manual, so that's like $300.
What's the original Tetris worth?
Ooh, we're gonna go down so many fucking rabbit holes with this one day.
We're
I'm gonna
gonna-
whole goddamn segment of bring your stuff here to get appraised.
Well,
Okay, so
I think
original
go ahead.
Tetris. What are we talking here? On what system?
NES.
NES. Original Tetris. So the loose Tetris price, because there was probably a lot of cartridges of it, only $12.
Okay.
However, if you happen to have the box, it triples. And if it happens to still be wrapped, it is times 10.
No kidding.
$350. There are other versions of Tetris, though, it looks like. There's a Tengen version of Tetris. I don't know exactly what that means. It's probably a box art thing. And that's $115. It looks like it has, and I can tell you exactly why this is a rarer set. Because on the front of it, it said the Soviet mind game. And I guarantee you that box didn't play well in America.
I was wondering if there was going to be a difference from the Russian release to the American
there
release.
is $100 worth of difference.
Yeah, I knew that the whole title was different.
Yep.
But yeah, Fighting's one is asking, didn't it come out with the Game Boy?
So it didn't come out with the Game Boy in the sense of like, I don't think it specifically came out with Game Boy. I think it had other versions. before that. I might be wrong because I think
I
NES
think,
came out before Game Boy.
yeah, I think it was NES first, and then when the Game Boy released and you could get like a bundle deal,
It came
I
out
bel
when Game Boy came out. It was one of the first games. That's
yes,
true. I don't think
that
that it came out with the Game Boy in the sense of like released at the same time of Game Boy.
yeah, because I honestly I remember playing that before I even knew of Game Boy.
Hmm. And then the Game Boy Tetris is worth a little bit more at $15. Handheld games are actually worth more,
Yeah,
generally
eh,
speaking. Easier to lose, I guess.
that's that's so crazy, so crazy,
Pokemon Red is worth like $80 loose.
dude. I got a cousin. He's probably still got his.
Probably.
He's he had them all, man. He
I think gold
collected
and
them all.
silver are somehow even more valuable.
It's crazy to sit there and know things of our childhood and where they're at now value wise.
Mhm.
It just blows my mind, especially a Mega Man game. Like for it to be that expensive, but you gave me the explanation why.
Yeah.
Still out the gate, Mega Man. I mean, come on.
There's a Mega
Love Mega
Man.
Man.
There's a Mega Man spin-off series called Mega Man Legends. I don't know if you remember those games.
I do not.
They were like RPG Mega Man games,
Okay.
and they didn't sell super well over here. But I have both of them, and the side adventure of that side adventure, which is called The Misadventures of Tron Bonne, who is the villain of Mega Man Legends. All of those together are like $400.
Jesus. Man, man, Kevin's down a Mega Man rabbit hole. And
Brother,
it's
the Mega Man collection is carrying like 1K of my fucking collection, bro.
that's that's exactly what I was gonna say. I was gonna be like, a Mega Man can fucking afford a couple months worth of shit for you just for being Mega Man.
Because I think I have Mega Man 6 and maybe a couple other NES cartridges too. God help me if I somehow still have Mega Man 7. I don't think I do. But Mega Man 7 was in the same boat as Mega Man X3, where, yeah, it's a $300 loose price game.
That's crazy. Crazy, man. I've played Mega Man, love Mega Man, but that's insane to me. We got House chiming in. What's up, fellas? How
What
goes it,
up?
House? We're about to break into Raw. We just had some video game talk and Kevin's treasures. That's what we should call that. And we'll keep updated. The more Kevin
I'll
goes,
keep you updated. I go up north in a couple weeks. The rest of my collection is up north. And I
Oh.
intend to take pictures. And it's my
Ooh.
summer project is to catalog my entire game. Game
This could
collection.
be fun. I think we could have
I'll
something
keep
here.
you appraised
where-
of the situation.
Yes, we'll have some updates for you fans who are interested in the video game talk with me and Kevin. And
Hey, and if
Kevin's
anyone else
collection.
remembers any of their games and they want them appraised and spoken about, please let me know. I'll
Yeah.
do research. I am very interested in this at this point.
Yeah, we'll definitely check this stuff out. You shout them out in the chat, and we'll take some moments and we'll go through some video game talk at the beginning of the show. But fans, we're here for one reason and one reason only, and that's Monday Night Raw. And Kevin, I enjoyed this one. We've been talking about how WWE might be slipping a little bit story wise, and we're getting a little bored on certain things. But I think this Monday Night Raw kind of came back, had some great moments, had some great matches. We'll get into those here shortly. But where were you at, Kevin? What was going on in your Monday Night Raw while you were viewing it? Where was your Kevin's mind going?
So I'm liking that we're getting matches. I didn't feel like there were as many commercials during matches. It didn't feel like we had a double commercial break match, which was nice.
Stopping the momentum.
Yeah,
Of the match. Yeah.
it didn't. I think the commercials were a bit better spaced out because that's really what I've been having an issue with mostly.
Yeah.
Is like, I get it, you got to pay the bills and keep the lights on, but you're running a fucking Netflix show, dog. You don't need to take these breaks where you're placing them. You can place them a little better. Now, if you want a 20-minute match, like I get it. If you're going to try and do a 20-minute TV match, you're going to have one commercial break in it. But some of these were getting like 2, 3 at some point, and it's just like, why?
Yeah.
I don't know. Make the match shorter then.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed the matches that we had tonight. I'm trying to remember all of them. I think we had Austin Theory and Seth. We had
No, we had
no,
Ford and
we had Ford and Seth. That's right.
Ford
Austin
and
Theory came
Seth.
out after.
Also, yeah,
Austin Theory
correct.
came out after. Penta and Javon, I thought, had a banger match.
That was a great match.
Even like the women's tag, I think was a good piece of business. I wasn't like hooked by the match, but I like the good piece of business of like Roxanne once again losing for the Judgment Day via roll up because of other things.
I
So
like the story. It's
that's what I'm getting at.
progressing. Yeah,
And I loved seeing someone of like legendary status having a match in Rey Mysterio versus Rusev. I thought that was great too.
that was a good match.
And as much as I've harped and hated that all we get, and I'll say this too, and we'll go through all of it segment by segment, but the Tribal Combat contract signing, I think, was well done. I just really want to see Fatu actually wrestle and not just talk at Roman and be attacked by Roman and do this by Roman. Like, just get him in a handicap match. Have him kill Otis and Tozawa. Like, you've already done it once. Just have him kill two people. Good to go.
Yeah. No, and you build up more of Fatu going into this match, doing things like that. So I'm there with you, Kevin.
I'm saying, at this point, I'd have him kill both Usos in a match. Fuck it. Like, at this point, Usos aren't really treated like this stellar tag team right now, because I don't really think anyone is getting treated like a stellar tag team right now.
Not right now.
So if we're just gonna have tag teams there to just hang out with two people, we may as well use them for some good. And I agree with kind of Fighting Statement what he's getting at there. Roman thinks he can do the same thing that got him over 2-3 years ago, and he'll stay over. But the problem is, so my problem is not will he get over, because he's going to stay over. I don't think that's going to be a problem. People will either turn on him and hate him, or he'll keep getting the OTC chance and all the other bullshit.
True.
The issue that I have with Roman just doing only Roman shit, and this is why I think Fatu needs to wrestle more, and Roman can just be there, like whatever. It hurts Fatu if Roman just keeps doing the same shit over and over again. Like, it almost has nothing to do with Roman. Roman is going to stay over. He's an icon. They did the Bloodline saga, and all of a sudden he's going to be over forever. Like, that shit just happens. Austin faced Vince for a year, and he's going to be over no matter what. Like, the invasion happened, and he was still over, boys.
Yeah.
The Rock is the same way. Hate him or love him all you want. He's still going to be over as shit and get a reaction. Brock Lesnar, after ending the Taker streak, after everything with the next big thing, after all the shit he's done, he's always going to get a reaction. He's fail-safe. Punk is the same way. After the pipe bomb promo, he's still going to be just as over as he always was.
True.
There are people who just stay over because they are just viewed as a superstar. But Fatu isn't there yet. So if you're just going to go into, I do this stuff, this is me, and don't try and play into their shit too, I think that's where you run into issues where people can get lost in the storylines of it, because we're not really playing to them at that point, or like playing to their strong suits. Because Fatu is getting given an opportunity to talk more and get more promos in, but that's not where he's strongest. And I'm not saying he can't do those things, because he can, but you're trying to prove psychopath and then having him talk.
Yeah. Actions speak louder than words, especially in this moment.
Yeah.
And I liken Roman back to what I like to call the tornado of Austin and The Rock, even Hogan at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And in the sense that they're not trying to bury you when they're working with you.
Yeah.
But they do expect you to be on their level when you're working. And like you said, Fatu, he's at a cult fan level there already.
Yeah.
Like his cult following fans already put him at Roman levels.
Yeah.
But the mainstream hasn't yet. And we really haven't seen the work to even go with that right now. And I mean, he's done great work. We've seen some great matches he's been in. He shocked people with some of the things he's been able to do. But at the end of the day, you're right. He's not on that level yet. So it would make more sense for them to just feed him people and just have those people get ran over. Who you collect a check and you get your face on TV getting mauled by Jacob Fatu. Like that, I'll take that check any day. Like that.
Especially now that Oba isn't doing it because we have him stop. Because I get why you don't want to do two of those in one night, given how your audience is now. You don't want to do two squash matches. I think it's still fine to do two squash matches. So let's put
Especially
that
with who it is.
there. And especially with who's over with it and what they're doing. So like Oba is over because he murders people. Fatu is over because he murders people, but they do it in two very distinct ways.
Yeah.
And because of that, I don't feel it's an issue as long as you space out when you're doing it on the card. Like Oba does his, I'm gonna kill two guys thing shtick at like 8:45, and then Fatu does it adjacent to main, and then you give him a different TV main. That way it's spread out.
That's good spacing. I like that. Speaking of Oba, let's get right into it. How'd you like this Heyman Oba interaction?
So I really enjoyed it, and I want to preface that before I nitpick. I really enjoyed how Heyman got things over, but I think more importantly, I really enjoyed how Oba stepped into this, and you believed his words to at least an extent that you could suspend your disbelief. And they're like, oh shit, like this is what he's going for. Oh God, he's mad now. Like we're getting some escalation. My nitpick, and I know why they said it the way they said it, but my nitpick is I don't want the babyface to threaten to kill someone.
Yeah.
And the reason I don't want the babyface to do that is because he's lying. Because he's not going to go in there with a knife and stab somebody to death. It's just not going to happen. So I do get the hyperbolic nature of it because they're not talking about killing Lesnar in a literal sense. They're talking about killing his career. But at the same time, I don't think you should threaten violence, you should threaten maiming, you should threaten beating within an inch of your life. But you don't threaten the life. The life is too far because now you are lying, if that makes sense. And I know that's a super nitpick, but at the same time, it's just that like subconscious thing of like, you said you'd kill him and you didn't. Like you're not fulfilling that promise.
I don't feel that it's a nitpick at all, Kevin, because the fans' reaction kind of is validating what you're saying, because their reaction wasn't like, "Oh, did you hear what he said?" It was taken back. That there was a shock in that crowd that Oba would say that. Like I know it seems weird because we can see him being pushed to that level. I mean, Brock. I got a quick little rant.
Sure.
I love Brock Lesnar. I've loved his career. Everything he's done in the ring, I thought, to me, has been perfect. They placed him fantastically.
He might be the best. He's at least top 3 of the best salesmen ever to step foot in a ring.
Exactly. And I remember you saying that about him. And I agree with you. It gets to a point to where we know Oba could do it, and he's being positioned to be the guy to do some damage to Brock. But for the fact that Brock went in the ring, he gave all indications that he was backing out. He's done. This is the end of it. And then to come back against it, like you've almost set it up to where Oba can say that, but you haven't pushed it enough for it to feel validated. You know what I'm saying? Like there is a limit in which we can push a babyface to where he has to say that. I think we've seen it with Cody. I think the home invasion, that's grounds for a babyface to be like, next time I see you, I'm gonna fucking kill you.
Yeah.
But I don't think we're there yet with Oba. So I agree with you. I think it was a wrong wording, but I honestly think it was people. That's what people wanted, and we got a new chatter.
Yeah,
You know, we always stop
gotta
and
hit that one.
yeah. So I'm going to leave this one to you, Kevin.
Sure.
Here we go.
So what happens to Fatu? Should he lose? Does he go back to the mid card or off TV? Okay. I see this one of three ways. I'm going to get the one I least like out of the way first. And that's for Fatu to lose. If you have Fatu lose, it's already pretty much been stated he's going to fall in line with Roman Reigns. That's what the tribal combat is all about. So I don't think he would be off TV after that, but he might be more mid-cardy in the sense of like he's not going to be challenging for main event stuff. He's going to be subservient to Roman Reigns. And we're going to have Bloodline 2.0 essentially. The way that it probably should have been at the beginning. No disrespect to Solo. I think he's a great worker, but I think they always kind of wanted Fatu there instead of Solo Sikoa because Fatu fills the role better than Solo Sikoa does. Solo's still kind of finding where his niche is, and I think he's finding it more now as like a mob boss-esque character
Oh yeah,
than he ever did as like the street king or whatever it was.
yeah,
Because that was it just felt like Fatu light at the end of the day. The second way this could go, this is kind of where I'm in the moderate. Someone else from the family interrupts the tribal combat who isn't on TV yet. So we're talking not an Uso, not a Sikoa, not a Tamatanga, none of these people. Someone else from the family. This could be a Zilla. This could be anybody else who hasn't debuted for the company yet. This would then render the tribal combat null and void for the Ulafala, but not for the World Heavyweight title. Because there's no DQ in the match. But there's supposed to be no outside interference.
yeah.
Because it's supposed to be one-on-one for the Ulafala and to be tribal chief. So there is a way to write through, hey, you didn't win the Ulafala because you needed help, you stupid son of a bitch. However, you did steal my title.
Yeah.
I think that's the happy medium if you don't want to beat Roman clean. The final option. This is my favorite option, but I also think it's the least likely. Fatu goes over clean or dirty. Who gives a shit?
But he goes over.
But he goes over. I guess in a no DQ match, there's no such thing as unclean to go over because you could kick someone in the dick 5 times in a row and it's still clean because there's no DQ.
Yeah. But he doesn't have to go to the lengths of Jacob Fatu, you owe him money, watch the fuck out.
Yeah.
That what we would mean by clean, I would say.
Yeah. So Jacob wins. This then takes Roman and makes him subservient to Fatu, thus creating a dynamic of why are we following, the unhinged guy? Oh, because we couldn't beat him. Oh, because he was the strongest. And then you can just have Roman win it again later. Like you can have a second tribal combat as soon as SummerSlam.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be that big a deal. But then that progression, because otherwise if Roman just goes over and he's super Roman, like at some point people are going to turn on him. If that's the goal, like go for it. But
Yeah.
he ain't going to be a babyface much longer with what's happening. It's just not going to happen.
True. Well, if let's say Jacob loses, he has to become subservient to Roman, acknowledge him, and do all those things Solo used to do.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that would be the reason why they could bring in Zilla to kind of like be the one who makes sure Jacob follows through?
Maybe.
To me, if you add Zilla, because I honestly, from what I've been seeing and his last appearance for the promotion he was working for, it kind of seems like maybe he's getting his moment to where he's going to be coming over. But I'm still wondering, where do you place Zilla? Like,
I don't know. Because I don't think you put him with... We already see that Solo's group is getting downsized. The
Mm-hmm.
releases of Loa and Mateo. I don't think you put him in that. I think all roles are filled in that. You got the right hand man and you got the giant. We're good. Bloodline, if you're trying to make a new bloodline that people have to stand up to, that could work. But man, otherwise, I don't. Unless you just put Zilla on NXT and he makes it of himself, that's also an option. I think NXT still is kind of finding its foothold after so many call ups.
Yeah, I
So
agree.
I think there is a spot there. But I think it would be cool to have someone from the family. Oh yeah, no problem, dog. We try and hit everyone's comments when we can. Come back.
Yeah,
Comment more. Give us more thoughts. We
comment
love
more.
that kind
Yeah,
of stuff. That's why we're here. But I, I'm talking myself more into the moderate angle of like this will protect Roman and his tribal chief status, but take the world heavyweight title away from him. Roman needs some kind of fucking adversity
yeah,
because right
100%.
now he just feels like the biggest swinging cock, and he just walks into Raw and he runs the place.
Yeah,
And that's not going to be babyface for much longer.
no,
You can already feel the fans kind of like you're telling him to fire him instead of dealing with your problems.
yeah,
Telling him to
exactly.
do this. It's like I just don't see that being babyface behavior for much longer and accepted by fans for that much longer.
I agree with you on that, man. Fans, we always talk about fans and their different opinions and things like that, but at the end of the day, they're not stupid. They're not going to sit here and watch a product that they've watched for years upon years and know how stories should be told.
Yeah.
It, Look, I love the Roman character, but I do think that there needs to be a couple bumps in his
He
road.
just needs some bumps in the road now.
Yeah.
Because
And
he
I
came back at Royal Rumble and it's just been all fucking big dick swinging since then.
Yeah. Well, and I kind of think you keep him in that sense of mind with the big dick swinging.
Yeah.
Put have Jacob lose. Jacob's having to do whatever Roman says, and I think he gets to a point to where he brings Zilla in, and then anybody who wants to talk to Roman has to go through Zilla first, and then I don't know, because to me that's now separating him from the base of the family that got him to the seat that he's at with the throne and everything. And I think that causes more ruckus until there's just an explosion, all at the hands of Jacob just being a fucking asshole about whatever Roman wants him to do, causing
And I think
chaos.
that can work too. To clarify, fighting when I say over, because there were a bunch of ones up. I'm not saying he isn't over right now as a babyface, because I think he is over as a babyface, and he will continue to be over. But what I mean by over when I say over is gets reactions.
Yeah.
Reactions doesn't necessarily mean babyface reactions. It can also mean, hey, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
And getting any kind of like loud noises and pops and anything like that. I always hearken it to when Cena returned in 2008, and people heard his music, and it was an initial like uproar of, oh my God, it's him. And then he came down the ramp, and then the realization started setting into everyone, and then they all started booing him out of the building.
Yeah.
But during all of that time, he was still over. He just got a reaction. He just got differing reactions. So that's what I mean. Roman's never going to get crickets. He's just not going to get crickets. That's really what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I don't know. I also don't know how effective it'll be for him to be considered a traditional babyface or heel at this point either. I think you're going to get a mixed reaction one way or another. I don't think he's going to end up as a complete babyface or a complete heel ever again. I just don't think it's going to happen. You're going to end up having people who like the way he runs things and people who don't. And right now you're seeing an influx of people who are loving him, are loving what's happening. But over time, that starts wearing if you're doing the same stuff as you were before. So that's kind of more what I'm getting at. If they keep
Yeah.
doing the things that they're doing, it's not that he will get less reaction, because he will still get reactions and he will still get loud reactions. But what those reactions will be different.
Yeah, 100%. And yes, that our definition of over is different from a lot of the other podcasts and people who do this for over. I can understand the confusion there.
Mhm.
It, I mean, we all use the same terminology, but have different definitions behind the words we
It's
use.
it's all carny language with different
It is.
definitions and
It
shit.
is.
I've seen a flip bump called a front bump called a whatever bump. Like there's like 20 million ways to call it something different.
Yeah. Yeah. And I agree with you with that. I mean, we came from an era where, I mean, we had the two biggest over guys who could just get a reaction even if they just came out and sneezed on the mic. That's
Yeah.
Austin and The Rock. I mean, those two guys, they could have done anything. And you get to a point to where you want them to do more. I mean, with Austin with the Alliance, I remember that was the first time I watched Stone Cold and was like, okay, I mean, this is fun and all, but like, how much longer can we keep this up?
Uh-huh.
You know, and I think that's where we're getting with Roman in
Mhm.
some aspects, but he's
Again,
still our tribal chief.
he's always going to be over. He's always going to be a top merch draw. He's always going to be an icon of WWE. I'm not debating any of that. I'm speculating that if they continue the path, because again, this is all speculation too. I can't predict how everyone will react. I can only look at indicators and patterns.
Yeah,
So I might be wrong. I'm willing to admit when I'm wrong too. But I just don't know how the crowd will keep taking it if he is solving problems by looking at Adam Pearce and saying, fire him, do what you need to do.
yeah.
And things like that, instead of being the baby face that's like holding back the GM and going, no, I've got this. Because they tried to do that a little bit with the tribal chief, but the setup for it to me, like if Roman would have just kept walking instead of looking at Adam Pearce and saying, fire him,
Yeah.
and then he yelled tribal combat to cut off Adam Pearce instead of to cut off the little thing with Roman, that's just a small touch that I think would have done better.
Yeah.
And these are all just small nitpicks, and it's just eventually some of these can add up. But yeah, like Austin, you brought up, those mud hole stomps in the corner were atrocious. They didn't hit anybody. Some of them were floating in air. Nobody gave a shit because he was so over. It will be the same when Roman does his ooh-ah in the corner or his Superman cock punch, like whatever. He's still going to be just as over doing all that stuff.
100%.
He's an icon. Just like
It's
Orton.
Roman Reigns.
Orton can be the biggest goddamn heel in the business, and people will still pop when he starts banging on the mat and all the shit. Like, it's just, that's
I'll be
just
one of
kind
them.
of how it works now. There aren't, this is a larger discussion, so I won't harken too much into it because I want to get to some of these matches. We haven't gotten to those yet. But it's more of how fans and people treat it, especially from our level of fandom where we study it, we look at things. I've been in the business, so studying and looking at things that way. And the reason that it's so much more difficult to be a heel now is because everyone knows it's not real.
Yeah.
Because of that, it takes longer for you to care to hate. It doesn't take as long for you to care to love.
Yeah.
And then it also doesn't take as long for something to get stale because you're sick of it.
100%. Yeah. That's 100% true.
Because you're thinking like, oh, like back in the old territory days, they're like, no, I want to see this guy kick this guy's ass. Let's do it. We don't have that anymore. We want to see, that's going to be a great match. Like the terminology and everything from the fandom has totally changed.
Yeah.
Where it's, I just want a good match. Oh, that's going to be a good matchup. Oh, that's going to be a good matchup. And then that's created matchup booking, and that's created a whole other different issues. But I won't go into that because that's a whole podcast in itself.
It truly is. And, attention spans are at the all-time lows. I mean, Haktua girl thought she was going to live a life of just off a catchphrase. And, well,
Got
she,
close.
yeah, got close, but not too close. That definitely went in the crypto world, but go check that out yourself. Fans, let's get into it. The IC title match. Kevin, let's talk about it because this one was great. Penta versus Javon Evans. How did you like it? We'll get into more of the end of it towards the end of the discussion because I think they're really pushing a story with Javon.
Yeah.
So Kevin, let's hear your thoughts on it.
The back and forth of this match, like Corey Graves said it on commentary. This was a lucha match.
Oh yeah.
This wasn't a high flyer match from America. This wasn't like this wasn't some like U.S. cruiserweight action. This was a lucha match. And if you would have had this match in AAA, it would have been right at home. I just watched Laredo Kid versus Ray Phoenix from last weekend, which was incredible. Go out of your way to watch it if you're a fan of lucha matches at all. But this match reminded me of it. And because of that, it really shined on a card that almost never has lucha matches.
Yeah. Oh,
Like
you're right on
traditional
that.
lucha matches. And Javon is going to have a really, really large future here. I like guaranteed he's going to have a large future here. I don't know when they're going to pull the trigger. I don't know when they're going to do the things with him. He's got a lot of time. But when they decide to, man, the end sequence alone was fucking nuts.
Yeah.
That was like 5 moves with like selling, but like selling into a position that you'd believe that the next move was hit. And then,
Yep.
like, oh,
It was a beautiful
there's
ballet.
nice finer details to it. Because that match isn't always my kind of match, but that one in particular, and like I said, the Ray Phoenix and the Laredo Kid one, like those were my kind of lucha matches.
I love that. I love that. And I love we got to witness it on a Monday Night Raw because, I mean, just the back and forth with these two. And like you were saying, the precision that they hit to make you believe that the next move was the natural next move was like incredible with these two.
Yeah.
So many things that you can harken back to in this match and be like, man, me as a fan and what we do here, I look back and I'm like, man, how'd he do that? Like the suicide dive to the outside where Penta kind of grabbed Evans and sidestepped him into the edge of the table with his back. Like, to me, the positioning that you have to be in to be able to make that not hurt. I mean, it's going to hurt, but it's not going to hurt Evans to where he's not able to continue.
Throw out a vertebrae.
Exactly. Like it was so perfect for where Penta was and the camera angle that they had. And then the sell, like you were talking about, the way they were selling moves, the way Javon sold that moment. I honestly thought there's a chance that we're not going to see Javon continue in this match.
Yeah.
And what I loved about this match, it was one of those old school matches that make you, when you watch, you go, oh, I love wrestling.
Yeah.
I love wrestling.
This is wrestling.
Yeah. And it was good. Now, let me ask you, Kevin, the idea of where they're going with Javon and seeing the frustration come out. We tend to see this with guys right before they go on their heel merry way.
Mm-hmm.
Are you feeling that with Javon? Are you thinking maybe this was just a moment of a young man's career and they're playing into that? Where are you at with this?
So I'll take Anthony's comment here with it, which is he's saying Javon, essentially, the young OG moniker is going to work better as an arrogant heel than a white meat babyface like high flyer, like they're pushing Javon right now. So I'll hit this and hit yours twofold because I think it's going to be similar answers. I don't know that they pull the trigger right now, but I do think there's legs to what Anthony is saying. The OG moniker where you're saying you're an OG, but you're a young OG, like you learned the game, you've studied the game. Like there's a way and a path to get there as a heel, and I think it could be strong. Now, I do disagree slightly with Anthony's comment in that I think he works really well as a babyface too, simply because he is exciting. The character itself isn't much when it comes to babyface, because he's basically just a bouncy guy that does a bunch of shit in the ring, and that's how he's
Yeah.
getting over. And that's okay for short term, especially when you're younger. But the heel aspect, I think, is going to grow a different side of Javon, which is more what I would agree with in Anthony's comment. I think when we get that, it's when we get the character of Javon that comes out more. And that's when we probably will see a title run, whether that be Intercontinental or they pull the trigger in breaking that world, the youngest world champion record.
Yeah. I mean, it's possible.
So, and then to hit your question, am I feeling it right now? No. I am not feeling it right now. I want to see Javon go through some more shit that makes him snap. I don't want it to be rushed. If we're going to change Javon Evans, because this is, and I'm just looking at this purely business-wise, looking at who they got on the roster and what they got right now. You have a young Black American that people can get behind, like young people can get behind. To turn him heel right now, I don't know you would do in a vacuum of like the business that you want to proceed with. I think you want to establish Trick Williams first. And I think he's establishing, and he's going to be there. Give him a couple more months.
Okay.
I think Javon heel turn maybe by the end of the year, but not right now.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, that's a great, a well put answer to that. Yeah, I'm kind of there with you. I think this is a chip in the windshield that we're seeing.
Yeah.
I do think that this was a moment of, they're playing into the moment of he's young, he's frustrated because he keeps getting just fingertips on that title, and then it not pulling off. And it kind of helped that Ray and Penta both talked about that in front of the camera. So I do, like I said, I think it's a chip in the windshield right now. I think
they want to try and give him some character stuff while still being face.
100%.
Adversity. They want to manufacture some adversity.
100% on that, man. And I agree with you too with the way they're presenting him. He's young, and he's that, like I said before, he's that bridge of that young generation of fans, that to where their dialogue is different than us old heads. Their whole thing, Kevin, you know exactly what I'm talking about with what you know. So, I love where they got Javon. I understand where you're coming from, Anthony, with where you think he would play better. But
I
again,
also understand where Fighting's coming from and saying that there's no way anytime soon that he'll be heel. I get that too. I think they have options with him is the key.
oh, they definitely have
And
options.
I think that's kind of where I'm at, is just like, you could just feature this kid on a card for the next year and not have him win a title, and it would be fine. He would still be over. Would he ascend the ladder? No. But he'd have a spot on any card.
And yes, Anthony, Kevin does understand it because he went through it and explained it pretty well. So yeah. All right. So Kevin, what's the next match you want to discuss before we have to head on out of here?
All right. Well, I gotta touch on this kid. Well, not this kid. Jesus, he's probably around my age now. I gotta touch on this guy because I think he ends up with a future finally. Because I think there's a lot of people.
Ooh, I like this talk.
This guy. There was a lot of haters to this guy.
Ooh.
And I listen to a lot of Cornette. I've said that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And Cornette's been really high on this guy for a long time. And when he got high on him, I'm like, okay, let's pay attention to what he's actually looking at here. And then when I started looking at what Cornette was pointing out, I went, oh, shit. They might have legs if they can do something with this. Austin Theory.
Oh.
and this might be a controversial take because there's a lot of Austin Theory haters out there. There's plenty of them saying he's boring as paper. And I get that, truly. But this guy's work in ring, where he is exactly where he needs to be, is reminiscent of Randy Orton.
Oh,
When I'm looking at an analysis of this kid's work, this guy's work, this man's work, this however you want to phrase it, he doesn't waste a step. So the only thing that this guy is missing now is a personality, something to drive him, some kind of character to get behind. The Vision has been the most snake bit faction, maybe in the history of wrestling, in the sense of injuries. Now, there's other snake bitty things. There's other. Von Erichs are the most snake bit, duh.
yeah. Yeah.
But in the sense of like injuries and still trying to do things with it without some kind of wild occurrence that caused many deaths. He has a chance here. And if we're going to see vicious side Austin Theory, I think that works best for him. He put on weight in this last Vision run. He looks bigger. He looks meaner.
True.
He looks like he could beat a guy up. Now he's going out there and beating guys up. So if we can keep that momentum, we might have something if he can capitalize on it. I just don't know where they're going to go with him yet and what they're going to do. It's too early to tell. But this is an encouraging sign, is what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
And I loved the Montez Ford and Seth Rollins match. I really enjoyed it.
That was a good one.
But the biggest thing that I came out with, and that's why I mistook it for the match, was Austin Theory and having that moment. And I don't disagree with Fighting or Anthony in this. There have been so many chances in the drop, and the balls were dropped each time. But I think the problem that is now different here, the problem before is that they went with cocky, young Austin Theory as the character, right? But Austin Theory couldn't hang the cockiness when he was in the ring with larger superstars.
Mm-hmm.
He couldn't hang with John Cena and be cocky and come off as that way, right?
True.
He couldn't do it when he was with Grayson Waller or anything like that. Grayson Waller overshadowed him in that sense because Grayson Waller was a better cocky heel.
Yeah.
So why make him cocky? Now he's not. Now he's going out there, and the whole point of the promo and the segment with Heyman was, okay, you're the guy now. And Austin Theory essentially hugged him and said, thank you.
Yeah.
And then he went out there and he whooped the holy high hell out of like 3 people.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I love Heyman with Theory because I think that's money. And I think that's the big thing that I agree with Anthony too. He needs, I usually use heater as someone who's like a bodyguard, Anthony, but I'll use a different term, and that's a talking piece, a mouthpiece. I think Heyman with him helps a lot because Theory is still finding who he is when he talks and who the character is and what he can do with it. With Heyman there, think like, I'm not saying Austin Theory is Brock Lesnar, but think how Brock Lesnar happened with it, where he needed someone to talk for him until Brock could talk.
Yeah.
Same basic premise.
Yeah, we've talked about that with many people. Ripshot's got a statement in here, Kevin.
I agree.
He's got a lot of logic in this one. Ripshot's saying you could argue that WWE and AEW have loads of world-class wrestlers that have no character or personality.
Mm-hmm.
Character and personality is is that virtue?
Vital.
Vital. Sorry. You need all elements to be a star. And fans, I'm going to say this: I need glasses like a cat needs water.
That's why I do the reading. That's why I do the question reading.
That's exactly why.
But I do love Ribshot's take there because I think he's right.
Yeah.
But I also think, I'll get to Fightins here in a second too. But I also think that's partly on the wrestlers in the moments that they're given for the matches. But it's also on the booking and giving them the moments to show the character and what their lines, like what their, not lines, because I hate when it's scripted. I know it's scripted to a larger extent in WWE. I don't like it because it doesn't show their personalities. It's just a bunch of writers saying you should say this.
Yeah.
And that's why we run into this shit. So I think it's the booking and the writing, if I'm being completely honest. Like, I know it's a bit of a cop-out when it comes to some personalities, and line delivery is part of WWE, but, like, AEW I don't think has as much of an excuse, because I don't think that they're meticulously writing those lines. I think WWE's feels more corporate writing, where they're like, oh, make sure you don't say anything controversial, because we can't lose sponsors. But AEW has a lot more freedom on that front. You see that with, like, Tekla and things like that, who just, like, walk out there and then they're just like, I'm going to call you a bunch of bitches on live TV. Fuck it.
Yeah. Yeah. I will say, I think AEW has a lot more characters that they're swinging with. Like, they're trying to go out there and test to see if it works. Leo Rush,
Yep.
the biggest one.
Boy, I
out of
love
all of them.
Leo Rush right now.
Yeah.
Clip this,
Yeah.
boy. Leo, you are crushing it right now.
You are, and I mean, you got
Crushing it
paid
right now.
for that Stampede match, and you didn't even have to do anything. And people are hitting him up for advertising for their stuff.
They
And,
should.
dude. The one commercial I seen he did for a bar and grill, it was pretty cool. And the chef in the background's like, as soon as he sees
Hell
Leo
yeah.
steal the food, he's like, yes, yes.
Well, that's,
It was-
like, that's that. A side note with this, like, think Danhausen. Like,
yeah.
these are the characters that you can make marketable for things, because when you have a character, you can sell anything. You know who the character is. You know who the personality is. Okay, you got a tattoo shop. Hit up Leo Rush because he's got nice tattoos, but also, like, he's a bit of a crazy motherfucker, and that's more of your, like, population when it comes to tattoos. Like, let's be
Yeah.
real.
And you're gonna have so many moments that are captured in
Yeah.
that time that if he makes an appearance there, what have you. Yeah, I think everybody is right with that, with the characters and what
Yeah.
you need to be doing. I'm 100% on that one. And each company is taking their own swings in different ways. I mean, WWE, like you said, is going more corporate with a lot of what they write out there. We
It's
can
more like
see it.
TV movie than it
Yeah.
is wrestling.
And honestly, their biggest swing is somebody who's already been over in the indies
Yeah.
for the longest time, and it's Danhausen. Like, with Danhausen, you can't miss. Like, it's hard to miss with
No.
Danhausen.
It's very easy to miss with Danhausen. I'll tell you why it's easy. If you start scripting him up the goddamn wazoo, you will kill
True.
Danhausen.
True.
It's over.
True.
You need Danhausen to be Danhausen.
Very true. Very true.
Donovan Danhausen is a comedic genius for the Danhausen character.
100%.
I've ridden in cars with him. I've heard his stuff. He's a great dude, incredibly creative and intelligent. Do not script him. You script
No.
him, it's over. The
No.
dream is dead.
And anybody out there who's doing what we're doing, if you get even a whiff of this, what I'm about to say, please look into it and take it to heart. When Danhausen is getting asked the same questions, or you're asking him to do the same routine, much like you people out there who are sportscasters and you guys want to get, will you uncurse our team? When Danhausen starts actually, like, saying little jabs at you, he's annoyed with the situation.
Yeah, he's just
He's
entertaining
just still
himself.
in the character.
He's just
himself.
entertaining himself.
Exactly. So take the little cues that he gives, because he drops a lot of the stuff. You just have to go and watch his catalog.
Oh yeah.
And you'll know, because
He's trying to find, so it's not just and I'll get to your comment here, Anthony, in a second too, because I agree with what you're saying as a criticism, but I just want to hit this topic first. Danhausen is also doing that to see if he can start playing off of you with things.
True.
He's giving you an in as well.
True.
Because that's what good workers can do with their characters and everything as well. Is it's not just, hey, I'm definitely annoyed and we should stop this situation. It's also, hey, can we make this fun? Like,
Yeah.
can we go back to fun?
It's yes and.
It's yes
It's
and.
the improv.
Yeah. So if you hit him with a no, well, then, yeah, it is annoying. He's
You
trying to give
killed
you
all
something.
momentum.
You're giving him nothing.
Yeah, because the one I seen, he gave him the out with the, well, if I keep doing this, you're going to have to start paying me human monies.
Yeah.
And nobody bid on it.
Nobody.
They just was like, okay, but can you uncurse my jets? And it's like, dude, come on, seriously,
Come on, man.
get it. You're missing the whole thing.
You're missing the whole
All right, let's hit
Let's hit
Anthony's
these
and
last
then
two. Let's hit the rib shot and the Anthony, because I think hit the rib shot second. Hit me with the Anthony's first.
All right.
So Kevin, this is where I agree with some of the criticism for Theory. He's still stuck in the prototype phase for John Cena at OVW. He hasn't gone through the Doctor of Thugonomics yet. That's a fair analogy, I would say, in the sense that, except I do think Austin Theory is a better ground-up worker in the ring than Cena was in OVW. In the sense that, like, the smoothness in the ring, I think, is much more there for Theory. So he literally just needs something for his personality, and it's going to start being gold, in my opinion.
I like that.
But it's been a while. And then finally, and I like this comment, that's why I wanted to end on it. People shit on Ultimate Warrior because he was the opposite of a technical wrestler. But he was insanely, I think he meant charismatic. Yeah, and larger than life. He was bigger than 90% of wrestlers today will ever be. And that is correct. In fact, I would heighten that percentage.
Yeah.
I would say, because if we're counting all the indie wrestlers too, he's bigger than 99% of all wrestlers going today. If we're just talking TV wrestlers, maybe 97. Because Ultimate Warrior was over as shit.
Yeah.
Enzo is Theory's mouthpiece. I could go for it. Theory just needs a mouthpiece for a little while. Maybe, but I think he needs protection right now. He needs to play off somebody for his promos right now. He can't do solos. Solos, I think, would kill him. He can't monologue.
Him lined with Heyman right now,
Yep.
with no other distractions besides Breaker.
Yep.
Kind of, this is the hottest spot.
This is the best moment he has.
Yeah. This is where you take your 5 minutes and you run with something. That hug, perfect. That got me to be like, oh shit, I'm gonna like this Austin Theory moment. Mm-hmm. This is gonna be fun. So yeah, Kevin, is there any more matches you want to hit with a quick discussion before we step out?
Women's tag match. Loved the business of the ending. I think we're heading
it.
towards a Roxanne Perez turn or ousting from the group. One of the two.
I think so
I
too.
lean towards ousting because I think she's going to be the babyface in the situation.
Yeah,
I think Roxanne's going to make a great babyface.
I think you're 100% on there. I do want to ask real quick though. Do you think there's an element of Finn added to that Roxanne?
I think they will be allies of convenience.
Yes. Okay. Love that. Love that. All right, fans. So you've seen what we did, and I hope you liked it. I mean, you guys definitely.
We always hope.
Yeah, you guys definitely lit up the chat. So we had a great discussion. Nobody called us assholes or jerks. So I think
we've had that in the right direction.
We have had that. We have been called some names.
That was a fun watch along.
That was
the house party, wasn't it?
That was a house party. Yeah. Yeah, that was a moment.
I wanted it back.
I know they never did. They never came back. So, oh well, life goes on. All right, Kevin. So let them know where they can find you. I know you got some things moving, and the In Your House Network is definitely holding spots for Kevin and all he's doing out there. So go ahead, Kevin. Let them know.
All right. So you can first of all follow me at Kevin Kalloway on Facebook, Kalloway Kevin on Instagram. I think I'm gonna start hitting Instagram more than Facebook, only because I don't know, pictures are better. You can also follow me at twitch.tv/Kevin Kalloway Pro. There will be, I think, 2 streams this weekend, maybe only 1, at least for that channel. Roguelike Friday will definitely be happening. That's where I play some of my favorite roguelike games, or just roguelike games that I find and just say, fuck it, we ball. And we play those games.
We ball.
I have a deep catalog of roguelikes. I think last week I played 30XX, which is a Mega Man roguelike. and then I played some Slay the Spire 2 when I was pleasantly drunk. I tend to drink during Royal or Roguelike Friday, so be prepared.
Yeah.
Hades 2. I have played a bunch of them, man. I think I might play some Raccoon or Balatro this week. I might be feeling some poker. I think I'm feeling Balatro.
Ooh.
But you can also catch me, and this is segue into some IYH happenings. You can also catch me Sunday at 2 p.m. because House and I guaranteed. I think some other people might be joining. I didn't hear any confirmation, but I know it's at least me and House. We will be watching, and I formally requested that House have a whiskey with him. We are watching some Clash in Italy live in living color. We'll be doing a watch along with it here on the IYH channels. So stay tuned for those. Watch for us to go live. And then minimum House and I are watching probably Annie too, just by convenience. And yeah, you going to join us for that one, Voice? Or do you know yet?
I'm not sure yet, but there is a good chance I am. It all depends
It's a
on
nice
what happens.
afternoon watch. I like a nice afternoon watch.
My daughter's high school teams are in the playoffs. For
so you might have obligations.
Yeah, it all depends on what happens tomorrow, I believe.
Well, I hope they win. I hope you're busy.
Yeah, well, yeah, me too. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Anyway, so fans, because I love wrestling. I'm sorry. This is the only thing I'm selfish about when it comes to me. I just love wrestling. I wanted to watch it all the time. But fans, if you enjoyed what you've seen here, why don't you check us out next Tuesday, same time, same place, same network. And me and Kevin will be discussing a new Monday Night Raw, unless something happens and they have to do a rerun. That's what we'll be doing. So we hope you join us again Tuesday at 6 p.m. Well, fans, tomorrow, do you like WCW? Do you like the neon colors that Sting used to wear? Well, why don't you come and hang out with me in House at 6 p.m. where we watch? That's right, WCW. Right now, we're in the middle of the beginning of Nitro. And they're hour-long episodes, and you can definitely have a moment with me in House because there's so many things. We've watched Macho Man get attacked by Kevin. We've seen Ric Flair pop out of nowhere wearing his wrestling trunks on a beach. What's going on in WCW? Well, you'll find out. You'll know because you can come and hang out with me in House on 6 p.m. on a Wednesday to watch WCW. Outside of that, fans, the last thing we do, it's the AEW Dynamite. Yeah, it's a fun time. It's a great time. It's an OG Tony, House, and Voice time. So come and join and hang out with me and House and Voice. And guess what? Young Boy, he's going to be there. OG's going to keep Young Boy in line. So come hang out with me and Bryce. It's a fun time. You can hear me and him go back and forth at each other like two cousins that haven't seen each other in years. But we will be breaking down Double or Nothing and the AEW Dynamite. It's going to be a very hard 6 p.m. start time. We are going to try to get in the studio and be there because there's a lot to discuss. We'll have a full panel. And hopefully you guys will be out here in the comments making all the great comments that you guys make. So fans, here we are in your house, the network. We got so many things moving, so many things coming up. We just released House's solos that he's going to be doing, the interviews with a lot of amazing women that are in the industry and that are pushing and getting more and more ground as the days turn. So fans, come check us out. Stay tuned with us. Hit that like button. I believe one of our new commenters said super kick the button.
Yeah.
So do that and come join us. Thank you all for joining and being a part of the network. And we will catch you on the next one. Bye.